Is my mic working? Can people hear me at the back there? I'm going to do a quick run on who is Canopy and why we do this kind of work with brands. We're not a consulting firm. We don't charge anybody any money to work with them. We raise our money elsewhere, and then we help brands to implement policies that help save ancient and endangered forests, because we're an environmental group at heart. So we don't work with the individual consumers. It's very difficult to change 1 billion people's buying habits. Any of you have teenagers here? Yeah? Okay. Individuals that love you don't always do what you want them to do. So it's pretty hard to get people who don't love you and don't care about you to do something that changes their behavior. So instead, we're focused more on the few thousand people who make decisions on behalf of millions and billions of people. The reason, just foundationally, we do this because when you took your first breath as a baby, when you were born, you started your relationship with forests. We have lost 80% of the world's what's called frontier forests, large intact forests. Frontier intact forests are not renewable because, yes, you can regrow a tree. Let's say in 10 years you can grow a eucalyptus tree in a plantation, sure. But the Sumatran tiger that used to live in the forest where that eucalyptus plantation now exists, that is not a renewable resource. You can't replant a Sumatran tiger if it goes extinct any more than you can any other species once it's gone extinct. Forests are not renewable. Trees can be. Don't confuse the two things. According to the United Nations and some of the global targets, forests will be about 25 to 30% of the climate solution. That's because especially intact forests are 40 times more effective at storing carbon than plantation forests are. And currently about 3 billion trees are cut every year to go into packaging. We should be able to develop a cellulose base for virgin fiber, aside from just trees. And that's in order that we don't just burden shift from plastics onto forests. Actually, the LCAs don't prove that shifting from plastics to paper is always better. Sometimes it's worse. That's not me saying I want you to use more plastic. That's me just saying we need to have really holistic solutions. There are a range of alternative fibers that can be utilized for paper. There's already about 11 million tons of paper made with agricultural fiber on the market today. Most of that is produced in China. The other, about 40% of it, is produced in India, and it's made from bamboo, bagasse, cereal straws like wheat straw. The technologies for closed loop, low chemistry, vastly reduced water use and chemical use, those technologies are emerging and starting to become commercially viable. Those of you who are nervous about me saying we need to produce 30 million or 60 million tons of something in the next decade, and that seems impossible, actually the paper industry sector has already done this before, several times. In 1990, the world added over 30 million tons of recycled paper capacity. And then the following decade, it was over 50 million tons, and then over 60 million tons. So this sector has actually shifted dramatically in a decade over and over and over again. And so this coming decade, we'll see the shift from majority virgin fiber production into the alternative fibers that have a lower carbon footprint. We can do it, but it's going to take a partnership amongst multiple brands to pull through that kind of volume of paper and packaging fiber.